Please lend me your phone. I need to make a call.
Whispered through the banyan leaves, 1,000 lives in every breeze. Drums that pulse, they softly tease. Time folds the stories we. Echoes rise, they call us near. Through shadowed paths, the path is clear. Legend tales, the heart can hear. A world reborn in every tear.
Junseo spent the night dreaming about his trip to Minho's house. In his dream, Minho told him that Dr. M was Muna, and after that, he confronted her. She agreed and they reunited. He woke up feeling quite happy and hopeful. Even though it seemed like he was building castles in the air, he still decided to be optimistic, especially since it gave him quite a good feeling. It was Sunday, and the conference wasn't going to hold until Monday, so he had so much time on his hands. He freshened up and ate his breakfast. Just when he was about to leave his hotel room, his phone rang and he saw that it was from his doctor in Seoul. He had completely forgotten about Mina and what he asked the doctor to do. He answered the call and wanted to tell the doctor that they could talk about the test results later in the day. However, immediately after greeting him, the doctor said, "The relationship is that of father and daughter." Junseo paused for a moment as he tried to understand what the doctor was saying. In the end, he said, "I don't understand what you are saying, doctor. Can you explain it carefully to me?" The doctor was surprised because what he said was simple to understand. He didn't say that to Junseo, though. He explained slowly, "Mr. Kim, the hair samples you sent belong to two people who are related by blood. You indicated that one was a male and the other was a female, so the result is that the male is the father while the female is the daughter." "Did you carry out the test properly?" Junseo asked again. "Of course, Mr. Kim," the doctor replied. "You know this is the best hospital in Seoul and we are professionals." Junseo kept silent for a while and finally said, "I know, it's just that the results took me by surprise. Thank you so much for your hard work." Junseo walked back to the couch in his room and sat down. This was really shocking. Mina was his daughter. He recalled her cute face and smiled. His heart began to beat fast as he thought about the possibility of her calling him Dad. He suddenly opened his eyes in shock. Who was her mother? He got up and began to pace up and down as he thought of who could be Mina's mother. Minji was the only woman he had slept with without using a condom, but she was always on the pill. The other women he slept with were escorts, and he always used protection. Besides, he cut them off after Minji came into his life. He thought about Mina's age and figured that she was between 4 to 6. This meant that her mother was someone he slept with between 5 to 7 years ago. During that period, Muna and Minji were the only women in his life. He never slept with Muna, so could Minji be the mother of Mina? But how was that possible? Mina's mother was here in Incheon while Minji was in Seoul. Also, Minji had done everything she could to get close to him in the last 5 years, and he had avoided her like a plague. If she truly had a child for him, she would have definitely used it to get closer to him. But if it wasn't Minji, who then was it? Did someone take advantage of him in his inebriated state? He would have known, and besides, the only night of his life that he could not account for was the night Muna slept with Minyu. It was the last time he slept with Minji, and she would have told him if she got pregnant. Minji did not like children, though, so did that mean that she got pregnant and gave the child out? The only person who could answer this question was Minji. He had promised himself that he would not have anything to do with her, and he had even had her transferred to a different branch of his company, where she would hardly get the opportunity to see him, but this was really important. He searched for her number and dialed it. The call was answered right away. When Minji saw Junseo's call, she was very shocked. He had not spoken to her in so many years, and each time she called him, he never answered. There were times when she used strange numbers to call him, but he hung up each time he heard her voice. Although she started seeing other men, Junseo was the only man she loved, and she kept tabs on him. She knew that there was no woman in his life, and this was the reason why she stayed calm. The moment Junseo was ready to date again, she would be at the front of his door doing whatever was necessary for him to take her back. Even though he claimed he would spend the rest of his life in devotion to Muna, she was still hopeful. Everyone needed someone, and one day, he was bound to get fed up with being lonely and look for someone alive to keep him company. She had thought that time was still far off, but after getting his call, she could not contain her excitement. She screamed and quickly answered it. "Hi, Junseo, oh my God. It's been so long since I heard your voice. I miss you so much and—" "That is enough, Minji," Junseo cut her. "I want to ask you an important question, and I will appreciate it if you answer honestly." Minji sighed as the happiness on her face changed to sadness. "Go ahead, Junseo. Have you ever gotten pregnant before, or do you have children or a child?" Junseo closed his eyes and waited for Minji's answer. She wondered why he was asking her such a question and replied without any hesitation. "You know I don't like children, so how can I have one? I've never been pregnant before, and I'm always on the pill whenever I'm having sex, so no, I don't have children or a child. But where is this coming from? Why do you suddenly want to know if I have children?" "I just saw a child who looks like you, that's why," Junseo replied. "But thank you so much for your answer and take care." Minji still wanted to speak, but Junseo ended the call. He heaved a sigh of relief because if Muna were still alive, she would not be comfortable with the fact that he had a child with Minji, and she could refuse to come back to him. He would rather have a child with some other woman than Minji. Now that he was sure Minji wasn't the mother of Mina, he needed to find out who was, and she had to explain to him how she ended up being pregnant with his child and giving birth to her. Junseo called his private investigator and said, "I am sending you a video of a little girl. I want every available information on her, especially who her mother is." After making the call, Junseo decided to proceed with his initial plan of visiting Minho. He ordered a taxi and gave him Minho's address. Minyu lived in a luxurious estate, and when Junseo got to the place, he was quite impressed. He rang the doorbell and waited, but there was no response. After ringing it 2 more times, he was about to leave when a young lady opened the door and stared at him suspiciously. Junseo heaved a sigh of relief the moment he saw her, because she was the same person in the wedding pictures. "It's nice to meet you, Mrs. Park." Seeing that Junseo knew who she was, the lady relaxed a bit. "What can I do for you, sir?" "I am here to see your husband, Minyu. He was friends with my wife back in Seoul, and I just want to find out a few things from him," Junseo said without taking his eyes off her. "It's quite a pity," she replied. "Minyu has gone on a business trip and will be back in 2 weeks. You can check back during that time." "I don't have 2 weeks," Junseo said sadly. "Please give me his number so I can speak to him over the phone." The lady gave Junseo Minyu's number, and he thanked her before leaving. While he was still walking towards the taxi he had ordered, he dialed Minho's number and he picked up on the second ring. "Who is this?" he asked gruffly. "This is Kim Junseo," Junseo replied. "It's been a while, Minyu. How have you been?" "I've been good," Minho replied in the same tone. "What do you want?" Junseo closed his eyes, inhaled, and exhaled. "I know we have had our differences in the past, Minyu, but can you please tell me where I can find Muna? I know she is alive, I just don't know where she is at the moment." Minho scoffed. "You have got some nerves, calling me to ask about Muna when you drove her to her death. Mr. Kim, don't ever call my number again." Minho hung up on Junseo, and once again he felt like his heart was pierced with a knife. He didn't know what to believe anymore. Could it be that Muna also faked her death before Minyu? But why would she do that? What could she possibly have against him? He got into the taxi and asked the driver to take him back to the hotel. He had a defeated expression on his face, and his shoulders sagged in disappointment. The moment Minho got off the phone with Junseo, he called Muna's number. Muna was surprised because the last time she spoke to Minyu, he had just gotten married and she had called to congratulate him. She was even surprised that he had saved her new number. Minyu knew that Muna didn't want to go back to Junseo, so how could he tell him the truth? even though he had connived with Minji to separate them. He had no regrets. Junseo had taken Muna away from him in the first place. It was sad that after all the effort he put in when they came to Inchin, Muna refused to give their relationship another chance. She insisted that even if she was separated from Junseo, they were still legally married, so she was going to stay single until the marriage was dissolved according to the law. Minyu found her reasoning crazy. He knew that Muna had fallen in love with Junseo since she was willing to have sex with him, but he didn't fault her because he did not know what happened to them on the island. He told Muna that he was going to wait for her, but she refused. She asked him to move on, insisting that he deserved better and she would never be able to get back together with him. That was the most difficult time in his life, and he had almost fallen into depression, but Soha found him. She loved and cared for him, and in the end, he accepted her and they got married. He cherished his wife a lot, but he still had feelings for Muna because she was his first love, which was why he refused to allow Junseo to get back together with her. He would never tell Muna the truth about how he ended up on her bed 5 years ago, because he would rather she found someone else than let Junseo back into her life. After receiving Minho's call, Muna began to panic. She had thought that with the act she pulled, Junseo would back off, but if he could locate Minho, it meant that he did not buy her act. What was she going to do? As she stared at the little one in front of her, a feeling of dread overtook her. Junseo was quite unpredictable. What if, for the sake of his revenge, he decided to separate her from the best gift life ever gave her? She opened her arms and invited the little girl for a hug. She kissed her all over her cheeks and her hair as well, but the little girl pulled away. "Don't kiss my hair, Mummy. There are flies inside it and they could get into your mouth." Muna stared at her daughter in surprise. "What are you saying, Mina? And who told you that there are flies inside your hair?" "My friend did," Mina replied. "And who is this friend of yours?" Muna asked angrily. Mina scratched her head and said, "MMM. His name is Junseo." Muna stared at her daughter in shock. She told herself that it was probably someone else. "Is Junseo your classmate?" she asked while desperately hopping for a yes. Mina shook her head. "No, he is not my classmate. He is huge and tall and he is very nice. He helped me pick up my beads when they fell on the floor last time." Muna's heart began to beat fast. Wubin had told her that Mina's beads fell on the floor when they went to get ice cream, and the hall where the conference took place wasn't far off from there. Also, Mina looked like Junseo's late sister, so he would naturally be drawn to her. She quickly went on Instagram and searched for Junseo's account. She noticed that he used her picture in his profile, and most of the pictures he had posted were of her. If someone did not know better, they would think he was an obsessive stalker. After searching for a while, she finally saw a picture of him. He wore a black suit and looked quite handsome, but as usual, he wasn't smiling. She showed Mina the picture and asked, "Is he the one?" "Yes, that's my friend," she replied excitedly. "Did he ask you anything about your mummy?" Muna prodded. She heaved a sigh of relief when Mina said, "No." Junseo may have just been nice because she looked like his sister. She had taken a huge risk by bringing Mina to the conference with her on 2 occasions. Luckily, she had left her with Wubin, but it was still risky. She would not let them get ice cream there again, no matter what. On his way back to the hotel, Junseo received a call from the private investigator. He was really eager to know who the mother of Mina was, but he was disappointed because the private investigator said to him, "I could barely find any information on or pictures of the girl. I was able to trace her picture to a nursery school, but that's it. There was no information on her mother or father. I have forwarded the information I could find to your mail." Junseo felt even more perplexed. Why so much secrecy? He was grateful to have at least found a lead. Now, all he had to do was go to the school and ask Mina a few questions. He would surely find out who her mother is. That night, Junseo felt frustrated since nothing seemed to be going well for him. The only good thing was that he had a daughter, but if he didn't know who her mother was, how was he supposed to get involved in the child's life? He called Tiang the following morning and asked him to send him a video of what will be discussed at the conference, since he would not be able to make it. When he got to Mina's school, he went straight to the reception and told the lady there that he wanted to see her. "What is your name, and who are you to her?" the lady asked when Junseo could not say exactly which class Mina belonged to. He was tempted to say that he was her father, but he decided not to do so. Since Mina only recognized him as her friend, for now, he would act accordingly. "I'm sorry, we cannot allow you to see her without the consent of her mother," the lady replied after Junseo mentioned his name and said he was her friend. "Okay," Junseo said. "What is her mother's name?" "I'm sorry, but I can't tell you that," the lady said. Junseo felt angry at her response, but he controlled himself when he thought about it. If he were someone who had come intending to harm Mina, then the lady's actions would have saved her from harm. Trying his best to not show his frustration, he said, "Can you then call her mother to come over? It is an emergency and you can tell her that Mina's father is here." The lady stared at Junseo in surprise. As she looked at his face, she finally saw that he had similar features to Mina as opposed to her mother. She instantly believed that Junseo was Mina's father, but it was still against the school policy to let him see Mina without the permission of the registered guardian. "I will call her right away," the lady replied. She called Muna many times, but she didn't answer the phone. "I'm sorry, but she is not answering her phone," the lady said while feeling pity for him. "You can come back around 2 p.m. Her mom will be here to pick her up, and you will certainly get the chance to meet both of them." Junseo sighed. "Thank you very much. I'll just wait around so I don't miss them." He turned around and walked away. Junseo went back to the taxi and hired the driver for the whole day. He sat inside the taxi waiting while wondering what Mina's mother looked like. He knew she would be sexy and beautiful because even when he used to pick up escorts, he had a certain preference and stuck to it. Time seemed to move really slowly, and after a while, he got down and went for a stroll. He came back, slept inside the car, and woke up to see that it was 30 minutes to time. The driver had left the car for Junseo and gone to sit in a corner, so when he heard the bell, Junseo called out to him and told him that he was going back into the school compound. He stood close to the entrance and watched as the kids came out to play around the compound while waiting for their parents. Teachers were moving around with them to ensure that they stayed safe. Junseo realized that this was a good school and felt impressed with Mina's mother. But why did she allow Mina to spend so much time with Woobin? He could see that Woobin loved the girl, but knowing that she was his daughter, he felt uncomfortable that she was left with a man who wasn't her relative. He decided that he would ask Mina's mother about it when they met. Mina finally came out as well and squealed in excitement when she saw Junseo. She ran to him while he went on his knees and hugged her. He stared at her face and had the urge to kiss her all around it, but he didn't want to make her uncomfortable since she didn't know who he was yet. He hugged her again and whispered, "I love you so much, my Mina." She looked at him and smiled. "Mummy says the same thing to me all the time." He held her little hands and asked, "Will Mummy be coming to pick you up today?" Mina nodded her head. "Yes, she will come. Will you like to meet my mummy?" Junseo smiled at Mina. "Yes, darling, I will love to meet your mummy." "Yay," Mina said happily. "Let's wait for her together." The lady whom Junseo had earlier spoken with stared at both of them and smiled at how cute they looked together. Junseo asked Mina to get on his shoulder, but she said she was afraid of falling. He decided to let her be, but promised himself that once he had revealed the relationship they shared, they would do everything together. Muna parked her car at a distance, walked toward the gate, and was about to get in when she noticed Junseo holding onto Mina's hand. She clutched her chest in fear. How did he know that Mina was schooled here? Did she open up to him about it? She could not let Junseo see her because the moment he did, he would be convinced that she was Muna. For now, he was just suspicious. She didn't know if he believed what Minu said, but she had been thinking of more ways to ensure that he completely believed that she was dead. She regretted leaving her phone behind. She had hurriedly gone for a meeting and forgot to take her phone along, and she had come straight from there. If she were with her phone, she would have called one of the teachers and told her to take Mina away from Junseo. Left with no other option, she cautiously went back to where she parked her car and asked one of the parents who were about to go inside to lend her phone to her. She called Woobin and asked, "Where are you?" "I'm on my way to the hospital," he replied. Muna heaved a sigh of relief. since she knew that the hospital wasn't far off from Mina's school. "Please, Woobin, come to Mina's school as soon as possible and help me take her to the hospital. It's an emergency." Woobin agreed while Muna returned the phone and thanked the woman. She stared at Junseo and Mina and got a strange feeling in her heart. She wished things were different, and Junseo loved her truly. They would have been one big, happy family. He was likely drawn to Mina because he was naturally her father and his blood flowed through her veins. Muna knew that Junseo would not rest until he found out who Mina's mother was. She thought about what to do to get him off her back and suddenly came up with an idea. She feared that Mina would be worried since almost all the children had been taken away by their parents. However, when she secretly looked inside the school compound once again, she saw Junseo and Mina laughing. He was carrying her on his back and running from one end to another while she clutched his neck tightly. Blood was really thicker than water. The way Mina was so comfortable around Junseo, even when she didn't know he was her father, was more than enough proof. The moment Woobin arrived, Muna said, "Thank you very much, Woobin. That's Mina's father in there. I am not sure if he knows that though, but I don't want him to know that I'm her mother, which is why I can't go in. I'm heading to the hospital now. Please fetch her for me." Woobin agreed while Muna got into her car and drove off. As he saw Mina and Kim Junseo playing, Woobin felt a sharp pain in his heart and became afraid. He was a cardiac surgeon and had met Muna 5 years ago when she began planning to start her hospital. Minyu was also by her side back then, but he soon left, and it was just the two of them. When he discovered that Muna was pregnant, he asked her about the father of her child and what happened between them, but she refused to speak about it and said it was all in her past. He had gotten used to Muna and fallen for her, but he knew she wasn't ready back then, so he stood by her and gave her all the support she needed. When she gave birth to Mina, he became her godfather. All these years, he had made a place for himself in both Muna's and Mina's hearts because he wanted to marry Muna. With the way Mina oafed him, it was only a matter of time before Muna realized that they would make a complete family. His feelings for her were no secret, and even Mina had agreed that she would love for him to become her father. However, with the presence of Junseo, everything he had worked for was going to get ruined, and he could not allow that to happen. Now he understood why they had been so attached to each other. Seeing the way they were playing together made his blood boil because even though Mina loved him, she wasn't so playful with him. His only consolation was the fact that Muna wasn't willing to rekindle her relationship with Junseo. Since she was going to great lengths to hide herself from him, it meant that he still had a chance. He needed to grab the opportunity as quickly as possible and get married to Muna, so Junseo would never come back into her life. Junseo looked at his time and began to feel worried. All the other children had left, and Mina's mother was nowhere to be found. What if he wasn't here? Would his daughter have been all by herself feeling sad and lonely? He had praised Mina's mother in his heart a while ago, but now he was tempted to believe that she was an irresponsible mother. He kept Mina on the ground and asked, "Does your mummy usually delay in picking you up? Why hasn't she arrived?" "Mummy always comes early to pick me up," Mina replied. "I don't know why she is not here." "Uncle Woobin," Mina suddenly exclaimed when she saw Woobin walking towards them. The moment he heard Woobin's name, Junseo felt his anger surge. He was tempted to give Woobin a lecture if he had been asked to pick Mina up. Why then did he keep her waiting? After seeing the way Mina ran to Woobin and hugged him, Junseo decided not to say anything. Perhaps the best thing would be to share his concerns with Mina's mother. The delay also gave him enough time with her, but he couldn't help but worry about how his daughter would have felt if he had not been with her. He didn't want to speak with Woobin because he didn't like the fact that he was entrusted with Mina most of the time. Did he not have a job? The realization that Mina's mother hadn't shown up today made him uneasy. Could it be that she was hiding from him? But that would only mean that she had done something wrong. "Goodbye, Junseo." Mina waved at Junseo with a smile on her face as Woobin took her away. Junseo also waved at her. He could tell that Woobin did not like him, from the way he looked at him with hostility in his eyes. The feeling was mutual, though, and Junseo had hoped that Woobin would confront him about coming to spend time with Mina. He was more than ready to reveal his relationship with Mina to Woobin. However, Woobin simply stared at him angrily and took Mina away without a word. Junseo became suspicious. Could it be that Woobin already knew that he was Mina's father? That did not matter, though. Junseo said goodbye to the lady who was now staring at him and began to leave. He decided that he would come as early as possible tomorrow and catch Mina's mum while she was dropping her off. When Woobin brought Mina to the hospital, he asked Muna once again what the situation with Junseo was, but she said, "Let's talk about it some other time, please. I need to take Mina home." When they arrived home, Muna noticed that Mina was very happy and asked, "Are you happy because you saw your friend Junseo today?" Mina replied. "He was very nice and he played with me after school. He wanted to meet you, but you didn't come." After hearing Mina's response, Muna knew that she had no choice but to proceed with her next line of action. She looked at Mina and thought, "I'm not going to keep you away from your father, especially since he seems to love you so much. I will allow you to enjoy this happiness, because I also enjoyed it while growing up, but I'm sorry that I can't give you a complete family. No matter what, the anger in Junseo's heart towards my parents, and I will always supersede his love or affection for me." "What are you thinking about?" Mina asked when Muna kept staring at her without a word. Muna smiled. "I'm thinking about you, my love. You are not allowed to talk to any other stranger or let them play with you. Junseo is the only man I am permitting to be your friend." Mina ran to Muna and hugged her. "Thank you, Mummy. Junseo says he loves me and I like him a lot too." Muna checked her phone and saw all the missed calls she had gotten. She quickly returned them one after the other, and when she called the reception lady at Mina's school, the lady said to her, "Mina's father was here today and desperately wanted to meet with you." After getting off the phone, Muna closed her eyes and hugged Mina, after which she called her nanny and said, "There's something important I need you to do for me." Junseo went back home feeling happy. Although he wasn't successful in meeting Mina's mother, he was able to spend some time with her. He never knew that having a daughter of his own would make him this happy. The contentment he felt was truly incomparable. He told himself that even if Mina's mother had gotten pregnant for him through deception, she was forgiven. He will always feel grateful that she brought such an amazing gift into the world. There was so much he wanted to do for Mina, and so many things he wanted to buy for her, but he knew it wasn't yet time, so he had to control himself. He had always thought children were an unnecessary bother, and after he lost Muna, the last thing he ever expected was to be a father, but now he could not imagine living without Mina in his world. He was looking forward to seeing her tomorrow. He knew that both Woobin and Mina would have told her about it, so it was only proper that she made an appearance so they would meet. When morning came, Junseo got ready before the sun rose and left for Mina's school. He asked the taxi driver to park the car a little distance away from the school while he stood beside the gate of the school. From where he was, he could clearly see everyone who came into the school, but he wasn't easily noticeable because of the pillars that shielded him. Since he had arrived too early, he had to wait for a while, but soon students began to arrive. He saw the door of a car being opened, and Mina came down from it. He was tempted to reveal himself to her, but he didn't want to do so until he had seen Mina's mother. A short woman who was quite chubby with a big tummy came out from the driver's side of the car, held Mina by her hand, and led her to the school. Junseo was surprised to see her and was wondering who she was. When she got to the gate of the school, she waved at Mina and said, "Goodbye, princess." Mina waved back at her and replied, "Goodbye, mummy." After that, she went into the school while the woman walked back to the car. Junseo was so shocked. He kept staring at the woman in disbelief and forgot about his purpose for coming until the woman got into the car and drove off. Junseo realized that he needed to speak with the lady and came out from behind the pillar, but before he could get to her, she had already driven off. He stood and watched the car in disbelief as it sped off. No matter what anyone said, there was no way he was going to believe that he had sexual relations with that woman. When he used to pick up girls, he always went for girls who were tall, beautiful, curvy, and sexy. Minji had all these qualities, which was why he kept her by his side for a few years. The only woman he had allowed into his life who wasn't tall was Muna. He never intended to fall for her, and it was this confidence that made him marry her in the beginning. He was so sure that he would never be attracted to her because she looked nothing like the women he fancied. In the end, he had fallen hopelessly in love with her and never got the chance to show her his heart. He had promised himself that even if Mina's mother drugged him and had sex with him without his consent, he would forgive her because she brought Mina into the world. However, after seeing the woman Mina called Mummy, he felt upset. How could a woman who looked like that touch him without his consent? He would have sued her for sexual harassment, but he did not want to make his daughter unhappy. She even looked older than Wubin. If that was really the woman Wubin loved, then he needed to hand it to him, because not everyone could look beyond physical beauty. He felt quite grateful that Mina's features were like his sister's, and hoped that she wouldn't grow up to look like her mum. Not that he would stop loving her if she did, she was his blood after all. But he hoped she would be appealing to the eyes when she grew up. For the time being, he decided to head back to the conference. He had been absent for too long, and only one more day was left. He decided to focus on the conference for now and meet with Mina's mum later. Back home, Muna waited anxiously for her nanny. She was worried that Junseo may not believe that Harin was Mina's mother. When Harin arrived, she told Muna that she had made a pact with Mina on her way and done everything just like she had instructed, but there was no sign of Junseo. Muna felt disappointed. After putting in so much effort, her plan was not successful. She decided that for now, the nanny will be the one dropping Mina off and picking her up from school. She had already told her what to say in the event that she was confronted by Junseo. The conference lasted for so many hours, and by the time Junseo arrived at his hotel, it was already dark and he was exhausted. As he lay on his bed, he thought back to what Minyu had said about Muna. He looked up the information that Tiong had sent about Dr. M and decided that it was high time he visited her hospital. He planned to do so after the conference tomorrow and visit Mina the day after that. This time around, he will speak with her mum, and they will come to an agreement on who will break the news to Mina and how to share custody rights. The next day, Junseo went to the conference as planned in his new car. Having realized that he was going to be spending more time in Incheon than he had planned, he got a brand new Ferrari, and after the conference, he drove straight to Dr. M's hospital. It was a few minutes to 3 when Junseo arrived at the hospital. He was disappointed, however, when he arrived and was informed that Dr. M had gone out for a meeting. Junseo asked when Dr. M would be back, but the woman at the reception said she had no idea and asked Junseo to leave a message if he wanted to. Junseo didn't want to leave a message because whatever he had to say needed to come directly from him. He walked towards one of the seats and was about to sit down when he saw Mina. She squealed happily and ran to him. Junseo went on his knees and hugged her. His mood suddenly improved as he now felt very happy. "What are you doing here?" Junseo asked in surprise. "I'm waiting for my mummy," she replied excitedly. Junseo said, "Really? Is she sick? I will like to meet her." Mina shook her head. "She is not sick. She works here, but she is not here now. She is coming soon." Junseo sighed sadly. "I saw her yesterday when she dropped you in front of your school gate, but she left before I could speak to her." Mina thought for a while and said, "No, Mummy didn't take me to school yesterday. Auntie Harin did." Kim Junseo looked at her in surprise. "Who is Auntie Harin?" Mina chuckled. "You don't know who she is. She is my nanny." Junseo wondered if Mina was making a mistake. "But I heard you call her Mummy yesterday. Why will you call your nanny Mummy?" Mina moved closer to Junseo and whispered, "You can't tell anyone because it's a secret. She said if I called her Mummy in my school, then she will buy ice cream for me tomorrow."
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like, share, and comment below.